Tuck to the hand. What was number 3?
The Rock says, "Who are you two Rudy Poos?"
You don't even know the Dudley Boys? Oh, he knows them. Little head game going on here.
You should know by now that we are the it doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I guarantee you that. Everybody can talk whatever they want to talk. You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter. Me talking right now, him talking right now, it don't even matter. It doesn't matter. Words don't matter. What matters is what happens November 4th. That's what matters. He could tell, he could say he could knock me out. I could say I'm gonna knock him out. It don't matter. It does not matter. What matters is what happened November 4th. That's what happened. That's what matters.
Okay, we heard you on that, and Deontay, you heard the challenger there. I mean, are you scared of him, and did he eat everything you threw at him like he was eating breakfast?
Mm-hmm. Well, the world knows that I'm not scared of Bermane. Bermane don't have nothing that he possessed that make me fear him. And in fact, not only just him, I'm not scared of no man on this earth. You know, I'm too protected. You know what I'm saying, by God, you know, to be scared of any man. If I was scared, I wouldn't be in this sport. If I was scared, I wouldn't have called out every name, the best of the best, what people said was the best. If I was scared, I would never have done that. If I was scared, I would never have said, hey, I'm gonna lose money to let this man step aside and let me fight who considered the fucking best in this sport if I was scared of a man. Scared is not in my definition because I live my life, I ain't even scared of death. So why would I be scared of a human being? Because death is something that is promised to us that we cannot avoid. We can only hope and pray that God extend our life on this earth. But death shall come, and the only way we can do the defeat, the way we can't defeat it, the only way we can do with death is to prepare for it. That's it. So why would I be scared? And for him, say he done ate my punches for breakfast, then guess what? I hope you left room for lunch, baby. I hope you left room for lunch. Because, you know, we don't want to hear no excuses. We don't want to hear no, for me, I don't have no problem fighting him again. It wasn't the fact that I had a problem. My big issue that was with Bermane was that he haven't fought in almost 3 years compared to me. I didn't think that was fair to him. I'm looking at this man. You know, I didn't think it was because I know what I'm capable of doing. I know what I've been doing. I've been very active. But he hasn't. And that was the main reason. But, hey, if he felt like he ready, I don't have no problem. And this is what it boils down to right now. He was my mandatory, so I couldn't get around him. No way. Former fashion, and we follow behind the WBC rules. You know, nobody was trying to avoid him at all. I just wanted him to get more. It didn't even have to be credible opponents. I just wanted him to fight more people. So when the time to come with me, I don't want no excuses. I don't want people to say, well, this and that, or he didn't fight nobody. I didn't want him to get discredit, nor did I get discredit, because I know how it is. Look at it. I've done all the right things in boxing. Now, what have I done wrong? And I still get criticized. I still get the one that get the blame. I still. So it ain't the point of me not wanting to fight him. It's the point of me wanting him to be in full health, experience-wise and body-wise. That's all. I ain't have no problem. I enjoyed my first fight with him. And I'm a damn sure enjoy the second fight with him as well, too. I just don't want the excuses. I don't have no more time for excuses. I just don't have time for it. Boxing has changed my point of view and the love of this sport. You know, with the things that are going on. And like I said, if Bermane beats me, y'all don't have to hear about me no more. I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm retired. That's it. I might move to MMA or some shit. I'm out of here. And that's fact. So come November 4th, I hope he about what he say, because I'm about what I say. I prove what I say. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And anybody know me knows if Deontay say something, he mean it. And that's how it is. That's how I always been, and that's how I always will be. I fight with my heart. I fight with my will. Fuck skills. Fuck all that. All that ain't got me nowhere in life. But my heart, my will, my courage, me believing in me, that got me through every bit of life that I need to get through. And come November the 4th, we shall see. We got one man saying one thing, we got the other saying another. But hey, like I said, the ring is that judge. And the people are the jury, so we shall see. We shall see. God don't. Sometimes God can hear calls. God can hear our answer, and He can answer our prayers. But sometimes He can be like, man, all right, I'm gonna give you what you want, but you may not be able to handle the results of what I'm gonna bless you with. And that's the thing about us as being humans. We pray for things. We want things to come up on us. And sometimes it ain't even meant for us to have them at the moment in time. But God hears us, and He be like, yo, sit still. Your time coming. Yo, sit still. Your time coming. But you still keep begging God, please give it to me, Lord. Give it to me. So God gets tired of us sometimes too. And He say, you know what? I'm going to bless you with this opportunity. Whatever happens after it is on you. And this is what God have blessed him with this opportunity. And now it's all up on him. So come November the 4th. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, he been preaching a lot lately. It's been kind of bizarre. But, you know, to each his own. I'm glad he's talking more. Even though the shit, like some of the shit, like, okay, in my job, I have to edit all that stuff. And it wasn't until this last week when I got a chance to watch the press conference. Because before the Laura Goucher fight, they had a press conference. But it was a press conference that was before the event started. So it was about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or so, compared to when the actual card started was about like 9, 10 o'clock. So it wasn't like a lot of media there, and he just went on like this preaching rant. And I noticed each fight he's been getting better with it. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. You know, because as long as he's talking, you know, but yeah, I be listening to that shit, especially when you gotta watch the stuff, you know, the repetition of when you're editing stuff and watching it, and then you're getting the key, you know, like tidbits. You don't know what the fuck he be talking about for real. So I think like when he get older, he gonna be like Bernard Hopkins, where he gonna be just saying all kind of crazy shit. You know, you're gonna be like, first you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm really feeling that shit. But however, he did have a nice little speech at the end of the media call, which I'm gonna upload. We can listen to a little bit of it right now. Let me see if I can pull it up. You know, where him at the end, him and Lou DiBella was talking about Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker about how they don't want the fight. Oh, excuse me. So, like I said, I'm going to be there Thursday for the final press conference. Well, I'm not quite sure yet. I could cover the press conference from here. I'm not quite sure. But I'm definitely going to be out there for the fight. So, of course, how Showtime does it is you can expect for them to probably announce a fight. You can expect for them to probably announce another fight on their schedule coming up. Let me see. Let me pull this up over here. I just want y'all to listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Wild.
He about what he say because I'm about what I say. I proved it. Yo, sit still. Your time coming. But you still keep begging God, please give it to me, Lord. Give it to me. So God get tired of us sometime too. And he said, you know what? I'm going to bless you with this opportunity. Whatever happens after it is on you. And this is what God have blessed him with this opportunity. And now it's all up on him. So come November the 4th. Woo, boy. Champion of the world, that's all I ever wanted. Or, on the other hand, if he beat me, then Deontay Wilder retired from this sport. Y'all don't want to have to worry about him doing another interview in boxing ever again.
Our next question is going to come from Rob Huff on Fight News. Please go ahead.
See how she cut him off?
Hi, I've got a question for Mr. Wilder. You've mentioned a few times about your race. Obviously.
Okay. Now, shit's gonna get a little crazy here, but we're not gonna listen to all of it because it's 8 minutes. Let's go get a little crazy here. Now, remember, what I'm doing is, obviously, it may be a lot of people who don't want to hear this shit, but it's my job, so therefore, this is news, so we got to listen to the shit, right? You know, so don't be bitching at me, man. If you want to leave, go leave. But in the meantime, this is relevant shit we're going to listen to from Deontay Wilder. But let me just shut the fuck up. Y'all just chill, relax. Excuse my language.
A number of athletes are speaking out about racial inequality and things that concern them. Muhammad Ali was doing that 45, 50 years ago. What are your thoughts about this? Are you inclined to speak out publicly regarding social inequality, racial inequality that you see in the world?
You talking to me?
Yeah, to Mr. Wilder.
Oh, repeat the question again, please.
Sure. We've seen all sorts of prophets speaking out about racial inequality, social inequality, kneeling while the anthem is played. Muhammad Ali was doing these sorts of things 45, 50 years ago. I wonder what your thoughts are on this, what your inclinations might be to speak out publicly relating to racial inequality.
Well, it's hopefully, when people speak out and talk about racial things, especially blacks, talk about how we've been mistreated and how we don't have certain things, people get tired of it, but they hear it all the time. They hear it. And, I've been doing so much reading, filling my brain with so much knowledge and stuff like that. It's like, what really good did it do to keep talking about it if ain't nothing being done about it? When I speak out, whether it's to you or whether it's to anybody else that's not black, I speak out. I'm speaking out to them. I'm speaking out to the black people. When I say things, when I'm putting them on knowledge, upon game, so that one day they will wake up and realize that you're adding to the cause. You're doing what they want you to do. All this stuff has been hit. Like when Trump said blacks is not citizens of America, he was so goddamn right. The thing about Trump, and we have to respect, Trump speaks the truth. He said how it is. He said what it is. He speaks the truth. Blacks, it's two different parts of America. It's a private corporate U.S., and there's the U.S. of America. Trump said we're not citizens of America, and he is right. We're not citizens of America. Because when we gave our freedom for benefits and privileges, and it wasn't really nothing. Everybody got something that went through hardship. The Jews got the Holocaust, right? The Indians, they got free taxes. Where have the blacks got it? But more heartache and pain over and over and over again. And then some say, well, hey, y'all need to, why y'all doing all this and why y'all doing it? Because people don't understand certain things. You should try to bail yourself out, but we tried to do that, right? We tried to do that way back with the what that was in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, when we had the the Black Wall Street, when we owned it our own business, when we had our own planes, own schools and stuff, and what fucking happened? When we tried to branch off and do our own things to better ourselves as black people, what happened? White people came along, Ku Klux Klan came along, they destroyed it all. Every step that we try to get ahead, there's always some blockage to stop us. But then go back, hey, they look how ignorant they is and stuff. And people don't even say just a simple word of ignorance. Ignorance is just a term used for a lack of knowledge. And then they always want to call other people minorities. And no, we're not minorities because our mind is not as a child or an infant. We're majorities, which I am an adult. I have an adult mind state of being. And I'm not an African American because that was a term created by white people. You can refer me as a black American. I don't even want to be called real American because I'm not a citizen of America. There's so much in the history, man, that needs to be taught. But when I speak for my people. That's it. I speak for them to have the knowledge because if they knew the acknowledgement of the world and where they came from and how the history is, it wouldn't be sort. There wouldn't be no sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even considering about moving out this motherfucking country. The more and more I learn about it, it's crazy. How so many black people got hung, and how so many got burned right there in the middle of the streets when people taunted and did all this shit. Like, man, it's so much shit, man, it makes you kind of mad, though. So when I speak...
Deontay, I'm going to jump in. Deontay, I'm going to jump in because this took a side turn.
Yeah, because nobody don't want to hear that. This is the facts. These are facts that we need to put out that people don't want to hear. That's the thing. People don't want to hear it. And that's the problem. We don't want to hear the facts. The history is what it is, and we need to change this world. The Constitution needs to be started because all that shit is not Bible. Look at all these corporations and stuff investing in jails and stuff. Why? Because they was promised that them motherfuckers would stay filled with black people because of what? Music. Look, music is the main thing. Music is the main thing. And white folks own all that because they put out that selling drugs or beating the pussy out or hitting this bitch or doing this and these women shaking their ass, they adding on to it because it's a brainwashed thing. We gonna keep promoting this shit.
That's some real shit though. That's some real shit though. And you peep how Lou DiBella was trying. I told you that shit went left real quick, right? So I'm on the call live. And at that point in time, well, not at that point in time, about 20 minutes before that, before Wilder started talking his shit, I was pissed because the media people wasn't answering real questions. You know, and then he went into this shit. You know, but let's finish it out. Lou DiBella was trying to, like, get control of the situation.
There's so much in the history, man, that need to be taught, but when I speak for my people. That's it. I speak for them to have the knowledge because if they knew the acknowledgement of the world and where they came from and how the history is, it wouldn't be sort. It wouldn't be no sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even considering about moving out this motherfucking country. The more and more I learn about it, it's crazy. How so many black people got hung and how so many got burned right there in the middle of the streets when people taunted and did all this shit. Like, man, it's so much shit, man, it makes you kind of mad, though. So when I speak,
Deontay, I'm going to jump in. Deontay, I'm going to jump in because this took a side turn.
Yeah, because nobody don't want to hear that. This is the facts. These are facts that we need to put out that people don't want to hear. That's the thing. People don't want to hear it. And that's the problem. We don't want to hear the facts. The history is what it is, and we need to change this world. The Constitution needs to be started because all that shit is not Bible. Look at all these corporations and stuff investing in jails and stuff. Why? Because they was promised that them motherfuckers would stay filled with black people because of what? Music. Look, music is the main thing. Music is the main thing. And white folks own all that because they put out that selling drugs or beating the pussy out or hitting this bitch or doing this and these women shaking their ass, they adding on to it because it's a brainwashed thing. We gonna keep promoting this shit because it's negative and it keeps these motherfuckers in the jail cells. So when all these corporations, Walmart and Steve Jobs and all these other hot corporations invested in this shit, man, and we wonder why we so blind, man. We so blind. But the thing about it, when they gave over their rights for benefits and freedom, what they do, hand them motherfuckers a Bible. They hand them a Bible. Because black people are too forgiving. They gave them the Bible to get the guidance for the ignorance. They tricked these folks. Man, but, hey, we can, oh my God.
On a better and a boxing related note, I was on a call with Anthony Joshua, who was entirely respectful of you, spoke very well of you, and said he's very interested in fighting you in 2018. Is that a sort of you'll believe it when you see it kind of thing, or does this leave you encouraged?
If Anthony Joshua, if Eddie Hearn wants the Anthony Joshua fight in 2018, he knows who to call. And by the way, maybe if he really wanted that fight, his promoter would be more respectful to Deontay instead of continuing to try to badmouth him and belittle him. And if he really wanted to fight, he'd stop talking about some ordinary guy named Dillian Whyte and stop calling out Deontay with an ordinary guy and start talking in real terms about making a unified heavyweight championship fight. But right now, Deontay's got to get past Bermane Stiverne. He's got to do that on November 4th. That's not going to be, a day in the park, and frankly, it's not going to be largely because Deontay was preparing for an entirely different fight once again got victimized by the politics, the cheating, the lack of professionalism on the part of so many people in this sport that don't know how to properly fill out forms and that wind up with VADA letters. And it's the third time a fight's been canceled in 18 months. And by the way, someone made a comment about Bermane Stiverne said he ate his breakfast. I wish the same person would ask a different question. How do you fight one fight in 2 years against a guy that knocks you down and subsequently gets knocked out and barely do anything, and you're still the WBC mandatory? That would have been a better question. But in the meantime, there's nothing we can do about it. November 4th, I'm worried about this fight because Stiverne's got nothing to lose and Deontay's got everything to lose. And people should come out and see an honorable heavyweight champion, an honest heavyweight champion, and one who doesn't cheat, defends his title at the Barclays Center November 4th on a great card. Showtime Boxing starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com, BarclaysCenter.com, or at the Barclays Center. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Joining, you may disconnect and have a great day.
That shit got crazy, didn't it? That shit got crazy, didn't it? Now, I've probably been on at least 100 of those things, and some of them be fucked up. But that shit was like, like rat beef. And then Bermane Stiverne is just on the line listening to all this shit. So I'm kind of hyped for the fight because it's different than the first one. Somebody gonna get beat the fuck up. And you got Wilder, like I said, this shit Wilder on is good for him. It's good for him. So, no, and the thing is, I agree with everything he was saying. You know what? Let me tell you something. Let's chew the fat for a little bit. Before we've already talked about Anthony Joshua and what's next for him, or what could be next for him. We've already talked about Deontay Wilder Stiverne. We got to talk about Dillian Whyte, and Robert Helenius to close the video. But in the meantime, chew the fat for a little bit. I got some plans and things are finally starting to really come together. We got a podcast coming up soon. It's going to be on Mondays. I'm not going to be going to events anymore in 2018. I'll probably go to a few events, a couple. We gotta get to Canelo Golovkin too. We gotta get there. So far we're doing the right things and making the advancements. We got merchandise coming, and I'm going to be doing some innovative things. So, for example, this video or videos like this going forward, starting in December, can't say November, but starting in December, December consistently, but starting in November, all my videos are going to be streamed live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook at the same time, and Dailymotion, all simultaneously. So these videos are going to be available on all platforms. What else? I'm going to be doing at least maybe one video a week, like I used to do years ago, talking about current events and shit. Oh. And basically, man, just trying to innovate. We've been getting a lot of resistance. And we've been working through that. Basically letting people know, or the people who've been trying to put obstacles in the way, to let them know, listen, we're not doing anything illegal, so stay out of our way, or make us rich in court. Simple as that, So I've been really putting this shit together for years now, and the shit is finally starting to come together. This shit now is easy. I have all this shit is going on live right now. So I can show highlights, I can show clips, play sound bites. We're gonna have guests. We can just call people up and then put them on the motherfucking screen and shit. We could be watching people Instagram live videos, yes, on my desktop. We putting a lot of work in, So thank you for those who have supported us this long. We've been resilient. We've been through a lot of scandals and shit, Next week will be 7 years since I started on YouTube. I started this channel in 2014. I took off a good portion of 2015 and 2016, but now like we're really like back consistently, we're getting to events, we got the team spread out, and if you're interested in helping in any way, shape, or forms, feel free to email me, man. The email is right down below in the description box. info@FightView360. You want to go to fights, you want to do interviews, you want to do all that stuff, man. If everything work out, we're going to be taking over, man. We're going to be taking over. I'm not doing this shit for my health, and I've put thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in it. And things would be a lot easier if I was wearing a suit. They just keep trying to put me in a suit. So when they see me doing my videos and everything, or they see these videos, they think, oh, who's this guy? So we're not in this, and I said this before, and I think right now it's really starting to come to fruition. We're not in this to try to catch nobody in subscribers or try to catch up with views. I did all that shit before. There was like 3 years ago, and before when I was like chasing views and everything, I was #1 every week doing hundreds of thousands of, before all this clickbait shit that's going on now. So I've done all that. Now I'm building something, and I'm not concerned about views. I'm concerned about the overall quality of the product to the point where we have our own market, because right now there's nobody doing videos like me. There's nobody doing videos like this where you see the person. So we're on a whole different level with this shit. So we're trying to capitalize off of this and have our own market and have our own designated, we got some real shit planned, man. And I'm just blessed that, the people that I've told that I was going to do all this years ago, they can see that we're doing this. We're getting to the fights. We're getting the interviews. We're getting the scoops. We're getting scoops before other people. And we're doing this. And this shit is hard, man. Nope, I would never work for anybody. I've already said that before. What would I be doing for all this for if I would just go get a job for HBO or Showtime or some other shit like that? No, hell no. Truth be told, if I was to retire and not do this, I would be well off. I wouldn't have a care in the world. I could just sit home and play video games and chill with my pop all day, realistically. I don't have to do this, but I'm at a point in time now where I'm tired of losing money. Well, I'm not saying losing money. It's not losing money when the saying goes you have to spend money to make money. But I haven't made money for quite some time now. I haven't made money for quite some time. It's always like, it's the negative every month. So now that I've noticed that my post-fight videos over the last several weeks have been trending either #1, between #1 and 3, my competition, for the last 6 televised HBO and Showtime, fights. So, we know that we can get there and get above. We're just trying to get consistent and get above, above. So, we gotta talk about Dillian Whyte versus Robert Helenius. Dillian Whyte didn't look so good, man. But at the same time, I know who Robert Helenius is. Robert Helenius years ago, and it has been years now, between 2010 and before he met Derek Chisora in 2011, he was a really, 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 really good heavyweight, yo. I'm talking about sharp, and you can see that if you watch the Dillian Whyte versus Robert Helenius fight. Very accurate puncher, but he didn't have that extra level. It's almost like mentally going into the ring, he's a beaten man now after getting knocked out by Johan Duhaupas, who Deontay Wilder knocked out. So it doesn't help Dillian Whyte, because this was supposed to be a showcase fight for him to want to get for Deontay Wilder to choose him next, and also for Deontay Wilder to be able to make the $7 million that he's asking for. And I'm wondering over in the UK, right? I'm wondering over in the UK, can Wilder get something out? Now, we're not these guys' promoters or these managers or these matchmakers or anything. I'm just trying to judge the UK market. The UK market is so strong, and as we talked about, the power of the casual fan, right? Can Wilder versus Whyte in the UK do a stadium of 30,000 or something? Can it be a situation where it's like a big major affair over there, like a big heavyweight showdown, where Wilder can get that 5 to 7 million, that he wants, and Dillian Whyte get about 3 or whatever he wants, but it not be too much political mumbo jumbo. Because if that's the case, then Wilder should go over there and fight him. And let's be honest, looking at Wilder's resume, even though it's not his fault, You know, even though it's not his fault, a name like Whyte, even though he lost to Joshua, would do him good. And a lot of people feel that he lost to Chisora too. I had to fight a draw, but if I was to give it to anybody, I would give it to Chisora. You know? So it all depends on how you look at it, man. It all depends on how you look at it. Wilder's not selling out any stadiums anywhere. Well, see, here's the thing. Wilder's not a big draw over here in the United States. And like I said before, I just don't be saying this shit just to be saying this shit. I be researching this shit. I don't have no, this is my job. I'm not one of these halftime media reporter dudes. This is my job. So I just, so you know, when you know, like, you know, the things the techniques they use for Deontay Wilder fights in Alabama, in his home of all people, of all places, it's like, you know, it's like, you know, but however, like I said, that shit he was talking, like, he's doing good with his mic skills. His mic skills has gotten better. It's his mic skills are getting him known as far as heard. You know, like that shit he was talking on the media call, I was happy for him. Because not only was he well informed, yes, obviously, you know, we've all been there. I've been there before. I took 3 years of speech class to be able to get to speak the way I do now, and I still have some issues. We're not perfect. You know, but to average people, especially where I'm from, despite my criminal background past, you know, the way I talk, people be thinking I'm some sucker clown or whatever, but whatever the case may be, yes, he does struggle with the pronunciations, you know, of words or saying words that just don't even exist. You know, but the fact that he's talking and he's going to get better with it. Just like a guy like Gervonta Davis, he needs some type of speech therapy or speech classes or something, because my God, and I was in there trying to. It was us. It was at what fight was that? I've been to a lot of fights this year. Now I think about it. I think it was Berto Porter. It was the Berto Porter and the Mayweather McGregor press conference. I don't remember. He just talks so low, man. He just talks so low. People are going to try to copy you soon with the way you do videos. They can try to copy me, but I'm already too far ahead now. See, I already spent the years planning this shit. You see what I'm saying? They can try to copy, but then that's why you always got to be innovative, you know? You know, I'd rather be the first one starting to do some new shit than to be somebody that's trying to leech off of somebody old shit. That old way of doing YouTube videos, that shit is over. That shit is dying out. That's why you're seeing more and more clickbait. People want interactive shit. People want the real shit. And with the laws and the regulations these days, I've noticed I've been getting a lot of flack lately, especially once I started doing this, from certain networks. Not all, because I already let the foundation be known to certain, you know, because I'll contact you. I'll meet somebody at an event, give them my card and say, you the such and such digital marketing of such and such. You know, I'm going to shoot you an email later on and, you know, yada, yada, yada. You know, so it's just that, like, some, like, they'll try to, what I notice is they'll try to bully you if you don't know, like, the laws and the rules and shit. It's like, I've been doing this for 7 years. You know, so you just gotta, you know, put it this way, I know what I'm doing. You know, I know what I'm doing. You know, it's just that it's not a racial thing. I guess it's because the way I carry myself, and, you know, they wouldn't, a lot of people, put it this way, doubt my intelligence. It's always been like that. It's always been like that, you know? So, enough about that. Let's get back to boxing. You know? Yeah, well, that's what I said. It's not that I'm a renegade. It's just that I'm not, like, as I said before, I've made some good decisions in life before I was 30 to where I don't never have to work again. But if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to do this media shit the right way, and excuse my language, not suck no dick to get ahead. You know, but however, I'm going to make sure that if I do boxing media, my goal is, or I feel media's goal is, to sell fights, inform the fans. And I have a demographic, you know, that I focus on 18 to what? You know, like, what, the 30s or the 40s, the people that are going to be in the house and watch the fights and understand the significance of the fights, the ones who are paying for them. You know, so I try to let the networks know. It's like, you know, it's like, yo, like, why y'all, I don't make no money from this shit. Y'all want to see how much I make? I'm putting money into this, hundreds of dollars a month, you know? So, and I know, and I just feel like I get too much shit because they think I don't know what I be talking about until I have to pull some paperwork out, or, you know, have to threaten to get an attorney. It just gets whacked sometimes, you know? Because it's like, I'm not hurting nobody, and I'm damn sure not trying to fucking, you know, scam you and no shit. You know, people be wanting this information because what are they going to do? Make sure that if they know the storylines. These days, Fights need storylines. You know, they want to know the storylines of why they should watch the next fight, even if it'll be a boring ass fight. You know? Like, for example, Rigondeaux versus a Lomachenko fight. You know, if Rigondeaux wins, it might be slow paced, but it's the sweet science. We want to see that, and we know the storyline behind it. So you've had many fights throughout history that they were boring fights on paper, but the storylines, you know, behind the fights, you know, is what sold the fights, you know? That's my shit. That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on. Yeah, no, I'm not rich in no way, shape, or form, but, you know, I'm good. I don't have to work again, thank God. You know, that shit's whack. You know? Like, I do miss, like, the personal interaction of working. You know, like interaction with people, because the last job I had, I was a bartender. I do miss that. Because you do get a little stir crazy being in the house all the time. And also, when you're home and when you're a business, so like, for example, today, I had to create all these emails and sort all this stuff. You know, so as you can see, as I said earlier, if you want to contact us now, it's much more organized for me, my colleagues, and my team. As far as if you want to contact us now, it's not just going to my email and me having to forward it. We have one email designated for if people want to contact us for anything. info@fightview360.com. So if y'all want to reach out to me for anything now, you know, whether it's business related, it's much more easier to keep up with it, or people that are working with me to keep up with it, because as I said, or if I told you before, I don't run a lot of this stuff anymore. You know, my job is to finance everything, do these videos, and like come up with the grand plan and the scheme of things. But when it comes to my social media, I don't run my social media no more. I only run my personal Facebook page. That is it. All that other shit, you'd be surprised that I have, like, sometimes, like, I add people, put different people on, bring people back, or give people the logins. But yo, my Instagram, it be people that be like, they'll post like they me, but they don't be me. You never know who be posting. Like, sometimes you can tell which ones are me. You know, like, I'm the guy that I post all the inspirational shit. You see what I'm saying? And like certain highlights. But other than that, that shit don't be me. You know, but that's what you're supposed to do, right? You know, like delegate, you know, roles and shit like that to make things like more easier. You know, and I have a lot of help, like behind the scenes. You know, like not necessarily just people going to fights, but, you know, getting things organized. For example, with the website is finally really starting to pump out, so we're working on some things. But anyway, let's get back to boxing, man. Let's get back to boxing. You know, I feel that, you know, Wilder is being put in a situation where he has to fight Dillian Whyte, because they don't have to deliver Anthony Joshua up, because Wilder's not a mandatory. He's a champion, and champions don't have to fight champions unless they want to. However, championships override mandatories. So it's only but so long, as long as Wilder remains champion, that Anthony Joshua can say, well, you know, I have mandatories and, you know, this and that. But when it comes to this IBF fight, he had to fight Kubrat Pulev, which ended up being Carlos Takam. So now it's like, well, wait a minute, who's your next mandatory? He's talking about mandatories. The WBA don't got a mandatory for you, bro. And guess who the WBA mandatory would be? So for those who don't know, Anthony Joshua is the IBF and the WBA Super World Champion, right? Unified. 4 belts: WBC, WBA Super World, IBF, and the WBO. Joseph Parker has the WBO. Anthony Joshua just defended his IBF mandatory, WBA Super World, WBC Deontay Wilder. So his next mandatory would be the winner of Alexander Ustinov versus Frezzo Quindo. So it's like, what mandatories are you talking about, bro? You miss me with that bullshit. So why can't you fight Wilder? See? And that's not just me being an Anthony Joshua fan or Deontay Wilder fan. It's because I know the sport and I look at the rankings and I know who these people are. So, truth be told, if he wants to fight Deontay Wilder and get that belt, even though it wouldn't be a lucrative fight, but it's more money in him fighting Joseph Parker than it is Deontay Wilder. And yeah, Wilder should fight Whyte. Why don't champions have to fight champions? That's just the way it is. Because the sanctioning bodies are all, okay, put it this way, they're all different companies, but they work with each other. You know, you see what I'm saying? The WBC is its own company. WBA, even though they're oldest, is its own company. IBF, WBO. The most respected are the WBC, the WBA, even though the WBA is the oldest. The WBO is shady, but they're kind of, you consider the newest as far as being recognized to be undisputed. You have to have the WBO to be undisputed. The IBF is the most strict. The IBF don't fuck around. They will strip you. You see what I'm saying? The WBC is just starting to get like that. The WBO has been known to show favoritism to HBO, Frank Warren fighters, Bob Arum, and have manipulated rankings to remove certain Heyman fighters. The WBA, they have that 2-belt bullshit situation. They've been talking about getting rid of that second belt for 2 years now, but they keep reneging and keep going back on their word. But when you're a WBA super champion that Anthony Joshua is, guess what? You don't have a mandatory unless the WBA says you're going to have a mandatory. Why? Why did I find out about that? Because let me see. Let me show y'all some shit. Shit goes back a long time, man. And this is the perfect time to take another break. It's weird shit, man. It's weird. No, see, Mauricio Suleiman is not. It's just that he's cleaning up a lot of his father's, rest his soul, he's cleaning up a lot of his father's mistakes. Where is that? Where is that? Oh, it's right here. And I learned this from, I already knew this, but he made it. This was the first time I ever even met Keith Thurman. This was years ago now. Yeah, put this over here. Yeah, put this over here. I'll be right back.
The WBA World Champion. A question a lot of fans have been asking is, why haven't you gone?
Oh, I was real sick during that year. That was the worst year of my life. I was real sick, and I didn't have a voice for 8 months. So that's why I sound all fucked up.
To the WBA, as far as Floyd is the WBA Super World. Why haven't
because I already talked about it earlier. A super champion is not obligated to fight any mandatories. He has 0 mandatories. I cannot even if I wanted to go to the WBA, there is no power. He is above the power with that super title.
Okay.
That super title puts him on a special cloud above everybody else, where he's floating around getting fed, grapes and strawberries and all the goodies. You know what I'm saying? He's in his little private chamber and nobody can touch him. I cannot go to the WBA and demand, why don't you do this? Because I've been the #1 contender, and that is how I got the regular title in the first place. When Floyd was the regular champion, I was the mandatory. When they elevated him, they elevated me, and by doing that, I, the regular champion, I read it. The day I found out about it, I read all up on the internet about it. I, the regular champion, I have a mandatory. The funny thing is, my mandatory happens to be Andre Berto. That's my mandatory. And Floyd isn't fighting the regular champion, but now he wants to fight the regular champion's mandatory when it's Andre Berto, not when he was the champion and his mandatory was Keith one-time Thurman. He took the higher way up and out of that situation. He wants to pick. He likes having control. That's why I call him the king of the division. I call him the king of the division because of the power he holds on the world of boxing. If he didn't hold that much power, I would never call him a king based off of his skills. I would call him a great fighter, but I would never call him a king. But kings are like dictators. See, and he's been dictating the way his career is run for many years, which, banks dictate how they operate. Fortune 500 companies dictate how they operate. So from a business standpoint, I'm not mad at him. But from an athlete and from a prize fighter standpoint, and from what y'all should begin used to knowing by now, from a pride fighter standpoint, me, myself, and many other people, we are all disappointed in Floyd, But if you're really disappointed, stop buying the pay-per-view. That's all I gotta say.
But basically, here's what he was talking about. That Anthony Joshua was the WBA Super World Champion. He's talking about like he has mandatories. He just fought his mandatory. Carlos Takam, who replaced Kubrat Pulev because Kubrat Pulev was injured, right? His next mandatory, if they choose to do so, which they likely won't, will be Alexander Ustinov and Frezo Quindo. So he can fight Deontay Wilder, but Luis Ortiz is still ranked, but Luis Ortiz has been removed from the WBA rankings. He's still ranked by the WBC because the WBC is like kind of giving him a break because he did wrong by not putting the shit on the paperwork, but he wasn't trying to hide anything because he really did have high blood pressure, but he was trying to be, hide some shit because like, why didn't you put it on the paperwork? I said my mic fucked up. How's it now? Is it better now? Okay, let's put this over here. It should be cool now, right? Well, y'all heard the gist of it. I'm not going to repeat it. All right? Why is nobody number one for the IBF? They usually never have a number one. It's weird. It's weird. They usually never have a number one. Yeah, I got to put the pop filter on this. I just drilled a hole in my fucking desk to, so the microphone would be, well, the sound should be cool now since I switched from the screen. See, when I switch screens, you gotta change the mic for each screen. So like I said, I'm still learning all this stuff. We're gonna get there though. But as I was saying, he is free to fight Deontay Wilder politically if he chooses to fight Deontay Wilder. But they'll likely go Joseph Parker because there's more money in Joseph Parker. And also, Eddie Hearn has already met with Joseph Parker's team. You see what I'm saying? Joseph Parker's next mandatory is going to be the winner of Alexander Povetkin versus Christian Hammer. Or Hamer. Deontay Wilder, if he beats Bermane Stiverne, is going to have to fight the winner of Dillian Whyte and Andy Ruiz, if Andy Ruiz takes the fight. If Andy Ruiz does not take the fight according to WBC rules, then Dillian Whyte will be the next mandatory for Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder may not be allowed to fight a voluntary. No, the IBF is not based in Europe. The IBF is actually African American owned and operated. Last I checked. But it's simple. If you want to, you can just go literally, like, right? This is how I do it. I just go right here and I just start looking up some shit. So when you have a fighter that you hear fighting for the WBA Intercontinental, some title bullshit, all I do is, let me pull this up on here so we don't fuck up the audio. Oh wait, do it like this. You know what I do? All I do is, let's say, let me go read this shit, read these fucking rules and shit. See if it's any shenanigans. So what I'll do is, I'll go read the rules and everything, and read what the belt means. I'll come right here and I'll be like, okay, well, what does this fucking belt mean? Page motherfucking 5. Go down here to motherfucking page motherfucking 5. But the IBF rules are a little fucking, they're not as detailed as like the WBCs and all that. But you get like this, and then you get to find out about the day of weigh-ins. This is the type of shit you're supposed to be doing. So when I see like, some shadiness going on in like the rankings, or some shit going on with a fighter getting a mandatory out of nowhere, you know what I go do? I go do what I'm supposed to do, and I go research that shit. Be like, how the fuck did he get all the way up here in his rankings? How did he get this shot? So when it comes to Bermane Stiverne, I'm confused too. It's like, why is he still ranked? But one thing that I did find out was that his Mauricio Suleiman, the president, the guy who operates the WBC, his father was very close with Don King. Don King kind of like a father figure a little bit to Mauricio Suleiman. Bermane Stiverne, Don King fighter. Makes sense, right? That's real shit. That's real shit. So it's like Mauricio Suleiman has been trying to like get the WBC more credible in fans' eyes, especially in the social media generation where all the shadiness comes out on social media, but I guess it's the sins of the father. I'm not trying to disrespect the man because the man is dead and gone, but, the WBC used to be on some corrupt shit, man. You know, WBC used to be on some corrupt shit, man. Like before all this social media, the WBC, you know, especially when you couldn't get the rankings on the internet, when you had to like, remember there was a time when you couldn't get the official WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF rankings from nowhere. You couldn't get those shits. So all kind of crazy shit would be, you know, you would be going down where if you didn't have a magazine or knew somebody on the inside to get the rankings, you know, motherfuckers would be stripped of titles, all kind of shit. WBC had a case years ago. I forgot the names who was involved with it. Was it the WBC? And they almost went bankrupt because they removed the fighter from the rankings or stripped him, but there's some shit they weren't supposed to do. Yeah, now you can't get away with that type of stuff because somebody like me will come along and look like, wait a minute, how does motherfucker get the mandatory when he wasn't even ranked last month? Or when you start hearing about fights that are about to be announced, this is what I go do. I say, okay, well, let me see if this person's in the rankings. For example, we've been hearing about Danny Garcia versus Brandon Rios. Magically, Brandon Rios has appeared in the WBC top 15. You see? You know? You can start seeing the moves. Now, the IBF title was very respected. The IBF title was respected among fighters, you know, but among media as well. Like, but mostly among fighters. It's not a bullshit belt. Fighters respect that IBF belt. It's just that fighters who want to bullshit around and not be active know you can't get the IBF belt. So they don't send their fighters that route because you'll get stripped. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, WBC want Canelo. They want that belt on him. They keep making these belts, and he's not paying the sanctioning fees. Yeah, motherfuckers just be popping up in the rankings or disappearing. Like Austin Trout has a very good case with the WBO. You know, yeah, man, they can't pull that ranking shit on me, man. They can't. I'm the one who updates the rankings on my website. They can't pull that rankings mumbo jumbo crap on me. I'll call him out on it. So how's he get ranked, huh? What are you doing? You were smoking pot when you made those rankings? When he went from fucking 32 to fucking 7? Y'all ain't slick. Or when they'll make like the diamond title, you know? Yeah, the WBO is some bullshit, truth be told. I don't like the WBO organization. You know, I don't like how they conduct their business. Especially like, you know, like it's just clear as day, like their relationship with Bob Arum, HBO, and Frank Warren. It's just clear as day. You know, the WBC, they are trying to clean shit up. They're trying. You know, and also a lot of pop fighters have been getting popped for those drug tests. You know? Yeah, I'm gonna watch UFC, man. I rarely get Saturday nights off, especially now. I don't have any more Saturday nights off now. You know, so next week I'm going to be in New York at Wilder versus Stiverne, and then I'm going to be going home doing that craziness because they got UFC St. Pierre return next weekend too. So when I catch the train is Madison Square Garden, so it's going to probably be an adventure next week. It's probably going to be an adventure next week. You know, and then I'm going to play some video games, man. You know, I've been working literally all day, like sitting here, like, you know, setting up all kind of stuff, changing passwords and getting like the website and, you know, getting this merchandise and everything ready, getting ready for next week. You know, David Hayes ranked the top 3 until the Bellew beat him. No, well, here's the thing. The reason why Bellew is not necessarily ranked is because he's in like the middle of the rankings. You have to declare yourself in a weight class. Now, David Hay will be ranked next month. The reason why he hasn't been ranked because when you're injured, they put an asterisk next to your name and says that you're injured. So it's not like you're pulled. You was only pulled from the rankings for injury. You know, yeah, the WBO is making a Kovalev-Shabransky title fight, and I'm thinking about going to that fight. You know, and he does have a trainer. You don't know who the trainer is. He's not a known trainer. And this is likely going to be one of those situations where he's going to be training himself. You know? Yeah, I'm going to watch UFC tonight. Fuck it. I got to get out this chair, though. So we're going to be here for another, we got 11 minutes left. Because I got to edit the first 15 minutes out. You know, they've been giving me a hard time. You ever watch, like, documentaries on YouTube? You know, like documentaries? Or like those, you know, like old interviews and stuff, or like, you know, like that's what I'm doing. You know, but yet they giving me a goddamn hard time. Oh, I'm a goddamn news reporter. Maybe I should get a tie, right? Get a tie. You know, when you're a news reporter, you can't have no fucking facial hair. So maybe I should get a tie, shave off my facial hair, you know, get the little fucking headphones and shit. Maybe get an American flag in the back, right? Maybe people stop fucking with me, let me do my job. Start eating couscous. Some shit. Hope Bellew flops. Hey, I don't think that's going to happen. But it depends, man, because he's coming back off of an injury like that. An injury like that usually takes a basketball player, football player, a year plus to heal. You know? Yeah, well, it was his toe, man. His toe was messed up. What do you want from me? You ever have a bad toe and try to fight? What do you want from me? You know? I'm kind of hyped for this, though. I'm kind of hyped for this. Dag, I missed the exact 7-day countdown. Dag, I missed it. And this is a great show, whatever fuck you want to call it. I ain't missed this again. Yeah, man, thank you. I mean, we're just doing, man. We just try. Like, I'm a regular dude. You know, it just so happen I do like this YouTube stuff and I go to fights. But the goal is to make sure, like, we talk about the sport and we sell the sport, right? You know, people are talking about like how UFC is beating boxing and everything. Like, we need to be doing this. You know? We need to be doing this. You know, and you do have a lot of people who leech off the sport, or more so, they don't study the sport. It's just a job to them. This is not just a job to me. This is a passion. It's something I love doing. You know? I wouldn't be doing this and like risking all this stuff I've risked to just be, you know, like doing this. Like, what would I do with all this stuff if I wasn't doing boxing? You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens. Oh wait, 7 if you count the TV. Fucking tablets and fucking remotes and wires and shit. High ass cable bills and all this. Travel expenses. Sending people to fights. Paying for gas and transportations and business cards and email addresses and web servers and all this shit. What am I doing? I'm not doing it for my health. I'm not doing it for my health. You know? So that's why I realized it's like, well, you know, now things have calmed down. You know, like, it's really time to start like making some money, because, you know, they say like the first year you start something, you know, and Fight View 360 is not a year old yet, but they said the first year you start something, then I got indigestion. Oh yeah, the first year you start something, you know, you're going to lose money, right? That's what they say. They always say some shit like that, right? You know, I fucked up. So I said, okay, well now, like, I see the ways to start making money now. So it's like, okay, start doing it. You can start doing videos. UFC doesn't do numbers without McGregor. But see, the UFC motto is a pay-per-view every month, though, and what they pay their fighters, they always make a profit. You know, with what they pay their fighters, they always make a profit. You know, you got pay-per-views every month. You know, and then you got those overseas cards, and then their merchandise. Remember, when you work for the UFC, it's like the NBA or the NFL. It's like, you know, or, you know, anything like Major League Sport. You know, you work for that organization. It's not like boxing where you work for this promoter, this promoter, this promoter. Everybody has their own rules and shit. In the UFC, you come out with your own sneaker line. No, that's a UFC sneaker line. You know, it's different. You know, so that's why the UFC is so heavily profitable. You know, and also the UFC has a stranglehold on the way like media is handled. You know, it's crazy. Katie Taylor versus Holly Holm. It's not happening. I don't even know. Why would they even bring... That's not... God, for crying out loud. I heard about that shit. People talking about that shit. And I said, man, I'm not entertaining that. I didn't entertain them by talking about it now. I shouldn't have said nothing about it. I should have said nothing about it. I saw the Katie Taylor fight earlier. I watched it. What are you guys doing tonight? I think I'm going to just lay down And if I go to sleep, I go to sleep. If I don't, you know, I'm probably gonna play some video games. I think I'm gonna play some video games though after this is done. I've been working all day. This has been a very, very productive day. So I'm gonna keep saying it, I'm gonna keep spamming it. If you want to help out in any way, shape, or form, man, if you want to go to some fights every now and then, we need people in the UK. We're making a big UK expansion. You know, if you do graphic design, if you do anything, man, we need help. The contact email is right down below in the description box. I'm sure that I will get back to you. That's how serious it is now. It's info@fightview360.com. You know, we're bringing out merchandising. You know, we're getting our sponsors sorted. And we're getting our affiliates sorted. You know, we're going to have this shit done before the holidays because I want to wake up on Christmas morning with my daughter and be like, we really finally got this done, you know? We really finally got this done. Go downstairs. I'm gonna start getting toys and shit now. You don't want to be no grown man with toys. I always wanted, like when I was a kid, I always wanted to have like those big Power Ranger Megazords and shit. You know? No, I'm Xbox. I got a PS4 in my bedroom, but I don't even be in my bedroom. It's just up there. Get some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Get my daughter some doll babies or whatever, you know, what girls play with, some Easy Bake Oven or something. You know, and be like, I got Fight View 360 started from the ground up, from the dirt. From the dirt. Man, I live in Canada. There's no fights today. Yeah, there are. Global Legacy Boxing, bro. You tripping? You know, that's some more stuff I gotta do. You know, I got a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, man, I'm about to play some GTA 5, some gang races, some gang clan races, some stunt races. Maybe play a couple games of 2K. Maybe go on UFC 2, give somebody the hands, McGregor. I'm supposed to be doing a video sometime soon on why we need a new fight night. Don't you know they're making UFC 3? They're making another UFC game? In a nutshell, the reason why it's so hard to make a boxing game is because the boxers' egos, and it's not like the UFC where you're going to get the rights to all the fighters just from the UFC. With boxing, you got to go to all the different promoters and the managers and get their likenesses and everything. It's a pain in the ass to make a fighting game. You know? And then you'll have somebody like Floyd Mayweather say, they'll go to Floyd Mayweather, hey, Floyd, can you be on Fight Night? He'll be like, give me $50 million. Say some old outrageous ass number. Like, what the fuck, bro? Do it for the people, for the fans. You know? When we got Mike Tyson in video games, it was way too late. But if we would have got Mike Tyson when we were supposed to get him, he would have been all fucked up. You know, you fucking pushing fucking on Sega Genesis. You know, it's just jab and some old crazy ass uppercut they probably give him with the B button. C button to be just... Video games came a long ass way. Yeah, it looks like we done with Fight Night, man. What do you think of soccer, FIFA? We don't play that shit over here in the United States. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just being a ignorant bigot. We don't play no motherfucking soccer over here. That ain't real football. Right, that's the proper terminology, right? Ignorant bigot. Like, I know what soccer is, and I know it's like a worldwide, the biggest sport in the world, but still. We don't play that shit over here. That soccer, that kickball. We don't play that. Play a man sport. Football, basketball. Yeah, no, what I do is I play UFC. I play UFC too, and I'm a striker. You know, but if people take me down, I be getting fucked up. You know, that's the closest we have to a boxing game. Because you can be a boxer in UFC. They have the punch mechanics. You know, you can be a boxer in UFC. You know, but then you'll fight somebody. You'll get like on a 4-fight winning streak, knocking motherfuckers out. You know, then you'll have some motherfucker trying to wrestle you, grab your legs and hump on you and shit, man. I be getting pissed. Or they keep trying to kick your leg to death. Yeah, no, soccer's not that big over here in the United States. It's if I'm correct, the last time I checked, it's football, baseball, and basketball. But the crazy thing is, baseball is the most paid first, basketball second, football third. Yet football is the most dangerous. It's crazy. It's crazy. I guess I'll wait forever for a fight night. Yeah, man, look like it's not happening. We got about 2 minutes left. It'll be a nice hour-and-a-half video. We're actually at the 1 hour, 45-minute mark. And I got to edit that first 15 minutes out. Because like I said, people have been harassing me. Trying to stop me from doing my job. You know, to give the news to the people. Because it's you, the people, who are the most important. Don King said that shit. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. So I'm going to, I had a productive ass day. Yeah, so I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to pop out some videos. I still got some shit I got to get out before the Wilder Stiverne fight week starts. So as I said, once more, I'm going to be at the fight next week. You know, so I'm going to get there nice, bright, and early. You know, what if Dillian Whyte show up? You know, we got to talk about Sean Porter versus Adrian Granados. You know? So I'll see you guys later, man. I'm Teacher Controversy. Please subscribe. This is Teacher Controversy Live.